welcome you all today on this Moksh Academy live session on USMLE exams and pathway for PG medicine in the US. So before we start the discussion, one very important question which I do ask each and everyone at the start of the session, if you guys can introduce yourself, as in which year of med school are you guys in? Are you in first year, second year, third year, fifth year? Are you a graduate or an intern? So 22% are starting med school, meaning they're in first year, 56% second and third year. In fact, earlier you start for the USMLE procedure, better is it is for your career. 7% in the fourth and fifth year, 4% graduate, and 11% intern. Perfect. So with this clarity, let us start the discussion for today. And I anticipate more the questions you could ask, more information you will be well versed by the end of the session. All right. So let us first get introduced to the American healthcare system. All right. Currently, 22.7% of licensed doctor in America, close to around 216,000 doctors, are something called as IMGs. What do you mean by IMGs? International Medical Graduates. When you guys apply for admissions in America for PG, all are termed as IMGs. Number of IMGs getting admissions in American system is growing regularly at a 14.6% rate. 98% of IMGs speak two or more languages fluently. And that is one specialty which Indians have. We speak multiple languages. That's the advantage which we guys have compared to other nationalities. Where do these IMGs look or work? 62% work as primary care physicians or in front line. In fact, if you check out the US news very regularly during this COVID fight, you'll be surprised to know on CNN and Fox News where a lot of doctors are actually Indians who are fighting the war in the front line during COVID in the US. Share of female IMGs is on the rise. In fact, let me tell you, 2020 number of girl students who got admission was more than the male students. So that is one important thing. So equal representation of the genders. Now, where do these international students work in America? 32% in South, that is your Texas, Florida, those kind of states. 28% in Northeast, that's your New York, New Jersey, Philadelphia, Chicago. 20% in Midwest, the Arizona belt. 17% in California, and other 3%. All right. So you can see the split where students are, and if you understand by this map of US, we are spread all across. The opportunities are there all across. Next, of course, where do international students work after completing their PG? So 33% of international students work in a hospital setting, followed by 31% working as a polyclinic or a group physician. The next 20% work as a single doctor or a two-doctor clinic, while the rest of them work in managed care like pediatric care, geriatric care, or in universities as a academician, teacher, or a researcher in unclassified setting. That's how the split is. Right. On the Moksh platform, more than 8 nationality students study USMLE on the Moksh platform, and of course the highest IMGs in America are from India. So 27% of IMGs are from India. Then you have IMGs from Philippines, Pakistan, Syria, Nigeria, China, Lebanon, UK, Germany, Russia, and UK. So India leads the pack of all the countries who are settled in the US. Great. So of course this was a brief introduction to the American healthcare system, and just to make you realize how IMGs are the backbone of the American healthcare system. If international students will not join the hospitals in America, their system will go for a toss. All right. So this is one thing very important. Now, let us talk about the entire medical PG process in US and give you a comparison with the Indian process. Before we do that, I am assuming all of you who are attending this session have heard about USMLE. Have you all heard about this word USMLE before you attended this session? I'm sure you have. That is the reason why you are attending this session, right? So obviously, my next question to you, if you could define well, what exactly according to you is the tuition fee to do post-graduation in US per year, okay? Yearly fee, is it 35 lakhs? Is it 50 lakhs? Is it zero? Or is it 1 crore? Per year, I'm not asking total. I'm just asking every year what's the fees. Is it 35 lakhs? Is it 50 lakhs? Is it zero or is it 1 crore? Prior to COVID, I actually, used to travel for these seminars across India. I have visited 250 plus medical colleges across India, right from Government College Jammu in north to Government College in Kochi, south to medical colleges in Bombay, Ahmedabad to colleges in Kolkata. So east to west, north to south. And believe me, whenever I have done these kind of sessions, this is the first question which I ask the entire class. When I ask USMLE, everybody raises the hand. Yes, we are aware. But obviously, when I ask the next question, how many of you know that there is no tuition fee? And surprisingly, only 43% of them answered it correctly. That there is no tuition fee to do post graduation in America. PG in America is not expensive as in India. PG in America is like doing a job. You are on a work visa. You get something called as J1 or an H1B. These are all work visas. You don't do studies like your engineering or management students. Your friends who do engineering, they all go on F1 student visa where they pay lakhs and lakhs of rupees of fees. Instead, as an MBBS doctor, you directly go on a work visa and you get paid a minimum salary per month of 3 to 4 lakh rupees. So it's a job. Kindly understand this very, very clearly. Doing a PG is like doing a job. All right. So your entire planning has to change accordingly. So let us understand this. When it comes to India, you have MBBS, US is MD, undergraduate degree, PG degree in India is MD for medicine and MS for surgery. Don't confuse this MD with this MD, okay? Undergrad degree for MBBS in America is called as MD. The PG degree in America is called as residency. Super specialization, after doing MD medicine, you want to do DM cardiology or you want to do MCH in surgery. In US, those are fellowship programs. Let's talk about attempts. In India, you have multiple attempts for NEET. Now you will have something called as next examination. NEET is getting replaced by the next examination now. In USMLE, you have only one attempt if you pass and your scores are locked for 7 years. If you talk about admission ratio for PG, in India, when 10 students apply, one gets a government college seat. 9 have to pay crores of rupees in a private college. In US, for every 2 students, one gets a seat. If we talk about choice of specialty in India, completely based on the next examination rank. In US, the procedure is different. Before even you think of applying, you need to build a profile because as I told you, you don't pay any tuition fee. You get salary 3 to 4 lakhs per month, annual package of 45 to $55,000, and since it's a job, you need to have a well-rounded profile. So it is very important all of you are clear about these things. So all of you have a handout section with you. You can download notes which are available. I'm just opening one of them for you. It is there in the handout section. I'm just trying to open one for you so that you are very, very clear. What are the factors which determines admission in America? India, it is always about NEET PG. Now NEET PG will be replaced by the next examination. So your entire admission, one exam will decide. That's it. Whatever rank you will get in your next one exam, that will determine your admission. Okay. However, in USMLE, the examination or an entrance exam is just the one factor. There are many other factors which determine your admission. So what are those factors we will understand during this session? So a lot of things today which you will be hearing, you will hear a lot of new terms. So don't get confused. Don't get worried. My team is there to help you, support you in this journey. So just take it step by step. And of course, at any point of time you get stuck, you have any questions, just feel free to, kind of type in and my team will be happy to answer. Not a problem. Ashrita is asking, what do you mean by one attempt if you pass? So basically in Indian exams, if you get an X score, okay, and if you don't like the marks, you can attempt multiple times. But in USMLE, you get two kind of scores. One is a marks which will pass you, and one is a mark at which you will fail. If you fail in USMLE, you can attempt as many times as you want. However, if you pass, you cannot improve the score for 7 years. So there is no scope of score improvement. Okay, this is something which is very unique of USMLE examination. Correct. So we will discuss about profile as well, Raja. Priyanka, absolutely yes. Spanish is very important. You have learned Spanish. Certification is not important, but moment you say I know Spanish, the program director will start conducting interview in Spanish language. Okay, that's how simple it is. They will start talking to you in Spanish language. If you can talk to them, that's more than enough. They don't require a proof. The proof is that you are able to communicate well. So the factors which determine admissions in America, first is your MBBS or medical school performance. Second is a USMLE scores. Third is your overall CV or the job profile. And finally, fourth is the residency interview, right? So Priyanka, if you mentioned that in your profile that you know Spanish language, the program director will start conducting interview in Spanish language. Simple as that. No certificates required. All right. So Shaurya, you are from which medical college and which year you are from? Okay, because I-Form is a smaller mini version of USMLE. And I-Form is not an exam which is required to do post graduation in America. It is an exam which is conducted in some countries so that you can pass and move from third year to the fourth year, basically from basic schools to the clinical year. So countries which try to emulate the American pattern, they conduct I-Form exam. For example, in Ukraine, you have to appear I-Form third year so that you can enter in fourth year. And at the end of the final year, you have a I-Form clinical. So I-Form is conducted by the same examination body which conducts USMLE, but I-Form is nowhere required for your PG in America. Okay, it's just that the body which conducts the exam is same, nothing else. But if you prepare for USMLE, you will be ready with I-Form. That's how it. So I-Form is a little lower version or a lighter version. It's a USMLE lighter version of USMLE. So if you prepare for step 1 of USMLE, I-Form clearance will not be an issue at all. All right. So now next important question which I am throwing to all of you guys is, what is your interested specialization? I expect everybody to answer this question. The reason I was asking the specialty of your choice is because when you select the American process, you have to pre-decide which specialty you want to go ahead with. Because I know many of you are in first and second year, it is too early to decide. But this is just to give you a perspective. If you choose America as your destination, how easy it is to get a particular field. So the most easy fields to get admission into are medicine, family medicine, pediatrics, psychiatry, neurology. Then comes pathology, radiology, anesthesiology, and then slightly difficult are surgery, OBGY, emergency medicine, and very, very difficult or extremely, you can say very low chances are for opthal, ENT, and dermat. So I've been helping students for last about 10 to 15 years now, and I know of a single or a two person who have got into opthal, ENT, and not a single person in dermat. Wherein if you talk about any of the above fields, I can talk about thousands of students, in different specializations. So yes, this is the reality. In fact, in India also, last year dermat was closed at 500 all India rank, out of 1,50,000 students applying. So yes, certain fields are competitive.